The town of Barrow grew from just a few cottages in the early 1840s to a huge industrial powerhouse by the end of the 19th century, resulting in a shortage of housing at every level. The Liverpool Mercury of 2nd of September 1871, talking of Barrow, states that many reside in hovels or timber-framed huts, it having been utterly impossible to erect more suitable and permanent dwellings with sufficient rapidity to meet the rapid growth of the place, to which newcomers arrive almost daily. It's with this background that local builder Benjamin Fish and others announced plans to form a company, the Isle of Walney Estates Company, in 1898. The grand plan was to develop a seaside resort at Ernsey Point and workers' houses on the east of the island. In April 1899, Fish announced to the Liverpool Courier a seaside resort, Walney-on-Sea, a steamship service to the Isle of Man and North Wales, and £100,000 investment. However, the Barrow Herald of January 1899 had stated that the Walney developments never getting forwarder than rumour, and in May 1899 the company was bought out by Vickers, Sons and Maxim Limited. They bought 341 acres of land at £100 an acre. The original Vickers plan was for houses north of the Ferry Hotel on a estate to be called Vickersdale. This soon became a plan to build around 1,000 houses on two estates north and south of the proposed Valley Park, later to become James Dunn Park. Any idea of a seaside resort was soon abandoned. Vickers arranged the building of the houses of modern style and on a model plan similar to those built by the Sunlight Soap Company at Port Sunlight. They were to be built by contractors, and the houses were designed by Ulverston architect William Moss Settle. Benjamin Fish, as a builder, tendered for 300 of the houses, but his tender was not accepted, and he was eventually replaced as the manager of the Isle of Walney Estates Company by James Dunn and then later Lord Dunluce. The foundations for the first houses were laid in March 1900, and local bricks were produced at clay pits both at Natal Road and North Scale. Some slates were imported from America. A temporary bridge was built across the Park Valley to transport bricks. The first tenant was David Mason, a clerk, who moved into 28 Latona Street in November 1900. By February 1903, the Vickerstown Chronicle recorded 440 houses completed on the North Estate, 297 south, with a further 114 in construction. And eventually about 950 houses were completed. Streets were named after ships, Mikasa, Powerful, or First World War generals, Buller, Lord Roberts. Vickerstown houses were classified with, for example, the most numerous being the A-class such as Niobe or Vengeance Streets, J-class houses in Powerful and Mikasa Streets being for skilled craftsmen, and L-class such as Avon Street being for estates company personnel and Vickers lower management. Rents went from the A-class 5 shillings a week to the elite on the Promenade or Empress Drive at 13 shillings a week. Wages at the time went from 21 to 30 shillings a week. The houses were painted chocolate, green and cream. Originally 2 pubs were planned, the King Alfred and the King Edward, which was to be in Douglas Street. The latter never materialised and an off-licence was opened in Methuen Street instead. The King Alfred opened as part of a public house trust where the licensee earned more commission from soft drinks than from alcohol. The Vickerstown Institute originally opened in a large house at number 3 Gattaca Street with a view to it coordinating the social aspects of the estate. An official souvenir was produced showing the design of the major house types, and in it states that the workmen on Walney are chiefly of the superior artisan class. But there was a bit of a sinister element in that a man had to prove himself to be recommended by his foreman to be a tenant on Vickerstown. The huge increase in cross-channel traffic eventually led to Walney Bridge being opened in July 1908, and a housing shortage following the start of the First World War saw more houses being built in Douglas Street, Lord Roberts Street and Melampus, and Dartmouth and Hastings on the South Estate. To all intents and purposes, Vickerstown was complete.